Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Hey guys, it's Joseph from BlackboxMyCar. Today we're super excited to be bringing you an exclusive version of the new VIOFO A129 Plus Duo, available now for pre-order exclusively at BlackboxMyCar. But before we move on, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on all of our latest videos, including the VIOFO A129 Plus Duo in-depth review coming out soon. So let's play a quick game. Let's call it Spot the Difference. What we have here is both the A129 Duo and the A129 Plus Duo. We've covered the names, but what we want you to tell us is which one is which. I'll give you guys 5 seconds to guess which one is the A129 Plus and which one is the A129 Duo. All right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, if you guessed that this one is the A129 Plus Duo, then you're correct. You win brownie points. So, as you can probably tell, VIOFO doesn't spend a lot of time working on the exterior of its dash cams, and that's because it's already, a great design all in all. But what they really do focus on is specifically on the interior and the chipset and everything to do with improving the overall quality of its VIOFO dash cams. So the A129 Plus is VIOFO's latest offering, and it's said to be the upgraded version of the old VIOFO A129 Duo. Here's where it sits along all of these models. We've got our 1080p, we've got our 4K dash cam, so naturally, the VIOFO A129 Plus is the new 2K QHD offering from VIOFO. They may all look the same, but I can assure you, they're all powerful in their own rights. If you're familiar with VIOFO, you might be wondering, hey, doesn't VIOFO already have a 2K QHD dash cam? And you're right, they do.
Da, 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 da.
It's called the VIOFO A119 V3. Dash cam right here. It actually looks a little bit different compared to the other ones. But that said, the A119 V3 is only a one-channel dash cam. So we're excited to announce that the VIOFO A129 Plus is a dual. So with the VIOFO A129 Plus Dual, it's a 2-channel dash cam system. The front camera records in 2K QHD, while the rear camera gives you full HD, both at 30 frames per second when recording simultaneously. But hey, if you just want the front camera, like using it like the VIOFO A119 V3, then you can bump up the recording capabilities to 2K QHD at 60 frames per second. This is on par with the Blackview DR750S and the new Blackview DR750 2CH LTE. What we have here is the VIOFO A119 V3, as well as the VIOFO A129 Plus Duo. Both of these dash cams actually use the exact same chipset. So for those of you guys who are a big fan of the video quality from the A119 V3, you can definitely expect the same out of this one as well. That said, if you guys take a look at specifically the camera lens really closely, you'll notice that the camera lens is a little bit different. So what you can expect from the A129 Plus is that there's going to be a wider field of view, specifically from this one. So let's take a quick look at the differences between the VIOFO A129 as well as the A129 Plus. This one's full HD, as you know, and this one's 2K QHD. Both rear cameras film at full HD at 30 frames per second. But something to note specifically with the rear camera is that what's underneath the casing itself is very different. So with the A129, the rear camera actually has an IMX291 image sensor. But when VIOFO upgraded to the new Plus, the rear camera now uses an IMX307 image sensor. The 307 is known to be an upgraded version and much better when it comes to image clarity compared to the IMX291. So the next main difference that we wanted to point out between these two systems is that with the A129, and same with the Pro, is that with the recording, the front camera typically controlled both what the front and the rear records. meaning that both of these shared one chipset. Now moving on to the VIOFO Plus, VIOFO has dramatically improved the internal performance of both dash cams by including a chipset separately with the rear camera itself, meaning that when the rear camera records, it directly sends data directly into the SD card. So what does that mean? So from a usability standpoint, you're not going to necessarily use the dash cams differently, but from a performance standpoint, now that both of these units have its own chipset, it will greatly reduce the amount of stress that's given on the front camera, meaning both of these dash cams should perform reasonably better. Now with the way that the internals are different on the A129 Plus, we do have a couple of concerns, and these are the ones that we're going to be diving into in our upcoming in-depth review, such as how does the buffered parking mode work on the Plus? How do firmware upgrades work? And most importantly, for a lot of you customers out there, what does that mean for upgrading from the previous VIOFO models to the new VIOFO A129 Plus? So we got some good news and some bad news for you. Let's start off with the bad news. So because of the way the new VIOFO A129 Plus is designed, previously we could just swap out the front unit or just the rear unit. But unfortunately, because of the way it's set up, upgrading from previous VIOFO models means that we're going to have to completely switch out the mounts, the units, and all the wiring itself. But here's the good news. A lot of customers have mentioned in the past that installing the VIOFO has been a bit more on the difficult side just because of how thick the rear connecting cable is. And it's really difficult by itself to squeeze into the A-pillars. But that said, VIOFO has listened, and this time they have included a much thinner rear connecting cable with the new VIOFO A129 Plus. It'll make it way easier to hide. And the last thing to add, not really good news or bad news, but because both of these dash cams use a different chipset, you'll have to update the firmware of both of these separately. So you're probably wondering,
is it worth the upgrade?
Well, stay tuned because we're going to be covering that and more in our upcoming in-depth review of the VIOFO A129 Plus. Something to note is that this specific version of the VIOFO A129 Plus Duo will be exclusively available at BlackboxMyCar for the next couple of months. If you're interested in pre-ordering it, you can buy it today at the BlackboxMyCar website. We'll be shipping it out mid-September. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to hit subscribe on your way out to stay up to date on everything BlackboxMyCar.